Hey guys, welcome to another post-game wash-up where I'm just going to give my thoughts on the game. This one is for Ripto's Rage, which I've just finished. So I have played this game before when I was younger, though it's been probably a fair while. Not quite as long as the first Spyro, but a fair while. So I was a little bit more familiar with the levels than I was with Spyro the Dragon. I actually had, again, a lot of fun playing it, and a lot of the points from sort of the first game stand still with this one. So the levels looked amazing, the audio was fantastic. Gameplay wise, it felt still just like the Spyro games I remember, so that was really cool. And a nice little nostalgia trip for me, going back to Spyro again. So I really enjoyed doing it. I did find that there were a few more glitches started appearing in this game, which is something I'd heard was the case. So as you get further through the series, I've heard that they get a bit more glitchy as things go. I'm not sure that I really had any major glitches in Spyro the Dragon actually, but this one I had a few started coming up, most of which were pretty harmless. You know, like the hockey game at the beginning where the goals started scoring themselves, which actually worked very much in my favour because I was just rubbish at scoring goals. So I didn't mind that one. And then later on, like there was a couple that made me have to restart some levels. So they were a little bit more inconvenient, but not hugely groundbreaking, you know, considering some games just completely crash entirely. When there's a glitch, that's not so bad to just have to manually go out and do it. So obviously one of those was the cow leg going out of play, which was pretty much my fault entirely, but would have been nice for it to not be possible. I'm not sure I ever did that as a kid. I don't remember sending something into the stratosphere, but that's fine. I just like to make things more complicated for myself, apparently, and add in extra challenges that aren't actually a thing. There's a couple of things again from the first game that still kind of stuck with me in this one. So the lack of subtitles is still a shame. There was less of an impact, I think, in the second game than it was in Spyro the Dragon, because at least in this one you had text boxes in a lot of the worlds when you're talking to the inhabitants of those worlds. There's a text box so that people can actually read it, but in the cutscenes, again, there's no subtitles. So, you know, same reasons why as in the first one. It's just a bit of a limiter, which I think is a shame, and I'm still hoping that they add them in one day. You never know, it might be wishful thinking, but on the whole, I'd say I was pretty happy with this game. There were a couple of tricky points for me, mainly the two bosses, actually, the last two bosses. First one was easy peasy. Gulp. I got very, very frustrated with Gulp until I was able to actually figure out that doing teeny tiny circles made it so that the shots didn't come at you, because you could try running like in a zigzag through the whole level, and when he's firing at you, the shots would predict it and they'd hit you no matter what you did. So I think I died about 10 times on that boss before I finally cracked it, and I had a lot of fun going back after I'd finished the game, actually, and kicking his butt with my power-up breath attack. That was good. The skill points in this one are a lot harder. This is probably the game where why I don't remember doing all the skill points, because obviously they involve speedway ones, and I tend to make a lot of mistakes in speedways, which costs me the time that I need in order to be able to beat those skill points. I think the later two I would definitely be able to do. I haven't done them yet, but I'm going to go back and try them. I want to try them, and I want to do it if I can. So that's Canyon Speedway and Icy Speedway. Those two I think I would be able to do pretty well, or pretty easily. The other two, Metro would probably be my hardest one. Oh no, maybe actually the first one. I can't remember what the first one was called now. But yeah, anyway, the first Speedway I think would be the hardest, possibly because it's got the boats and the cars and like that was the bit that kept tripping me over on that one. So that was probably actually the hardest speedway out of all four. And then it was Metro, and then Canyon took me a little bit longer than Icy did. Icy I did it on the second time, so that was obviously the easiest one and my favourite speedway. Definitely my favourite speedway to date. So they kept, I think, most things pretty similar. There was a couple of changes that I thought were a shame. So they changed the skeleton dance in Skelos Badlands, not sure how you pronounce that, and added in like that Fortnite thing, which I'm not fond of, to be honest, not my cup of tea. And they took out, because I went and watched the old one after I'd done that level to see what was different with the dance, because I was like, that wasn't the same, that definitely wasn't there. And they took out, in the original, he did like this big backflip in a circle, and they took that out, which I thought was a shame, because that was really cool. Maybe it was a cultural thing, like times have changed or something, I don't know, and they're trying to make it better, different, I don't know, but I was like, why did you have to change that? That was like, I don't get why they changed it, but maybe that's just me. And what was the other change? Juliet's voice. So they changed Juliet's voice. In the old game, she sounded really gruff, which was, well, not really like gruff, but like just not very feminine. And I thought it was great as a kid because it was very unexpected. You know, she looks all feminine and super like girly and stuff, and then this voice came out of her that was just not, and it was like, what? And it was really cool. So I thought that was a shame that they changed it, but that might be for like PC reasons or something, I don't know. Having gone from Spyro the Dragon straight into Ripto's Rage, like, so it's so fresh in my memory now, it's really cool to see the differences of what they've kind of incorporated into the game from the previous one, and all the new stuff they've added in, like all the new inhabitants and all the different worlds. And obviously having gone to Avalar, they've got that opportunity to just kind of do all new bad guys and everything, and so it was really cool actually to see that. There were things that I was used to doing from Ripto's Rage and Year of the Dragon that I couldn't do in Spyro the Dragon, but I was so used to having done it because they were like later controls that I kept trying to automatically do it like by instinct in Spyro the Dragon, and didn't work so well for me, like the hover, pressing triangle to hover at the end of a glide. The number of times that killed me in Spyro the Dragon is a little embarrassing. Like, I got probably about halfway through the game before I finally managed to stop making myself do that in Spyro the Dragon a bit more consistently, but it was very much a like knee-jerk reaction to try and do it, so that was fun. But yeah, I mean, one of the things I like, the extra stuff that you can do in Ripto's Rage, like being able to climb, and in the speedways, the extra little levels that you've got, challenges, so you can go and get an orb in there, and it just made the game a lot richer. So that's always a cool thing. That's not just necessarily from the reignited trilogy, obviously that's inherited from the original game, just generally. I like that. And they continue that in the third one as well. No spoilers. So I am going to be moving on to the third Spyro, Year of the Dragon, but I'm just going to take a little teeny tiny break on that one first, because there's some other games that I've been dying to play and I need to play them. So I'm going to pause that and come back to that and have a lot of fun with it, I'm sure. But I hope you enjoyed watching the Spyro game, and let me know what you thought of it. If you're familiar with the series yourselves, you've played it, what's your favourite level? And if you've not, what did you like about it? What did you think? Let me know. Alright, so thanks very much for watching again, and hopefully see you in future playthroughs.